Yeah, I mean, as my journey progresses, through like me, I'm only nine. I'm young. I'm only 19. Um, a lot of things that I've gone through are well in the first world. I think that I've gone through. It didn't happen. Or there are things that have happened in my past that aren't common in the way I would see a regular first world teenager my age. Um, as I entered adulthood, I've crossed upon many hardships very early in my life, and the one I want to talk about is the death of my friends tonight. I feel like that was one of the hardest things I've ever went through. I'm making this video to say that I did it. Like, I went through that. Like, I made it through that. Like a lot of first world problems aren't as big as second and third world problems. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's because I had a couple people pass on me and like I did everything, I conquered the world. No, I'm just saying that I had a victory. That victory was very important to me. That I needed to figure out on my own, and I didn't do it by myself, but I did go day to day with one person in mind, and that is obviously my Jehovah in itself. That's what I try to push on. I try to lean on. I couldn't have done it without him. I had 4 friends die within 2-3 years. Like 3 of them died within less than a year of each other. I've seen one die right in front of me. I've had best friend kill himself. Another one get shot up in a car. All 3 of those happened within less than a whole full year from the first one. So it's like I've been through a lot of the things that all spontaneous, instantaneous deaths they all come with their set of issues that you have to go through, like, the grievance and process and whatnot. So like, yeah, I was sad. It just distracted me. I couldn't move. I was in shock. At that point, that shock, I really called it a mental recession where I was just like, I was so up here, and then when it happened, I dropped so low. It was literally like a recession. I I went through all this stage. I went through that when I was a junior in high school. Now it's going on 3 years since the first one. Since my junior year, I've happened. I was 16. I'm about to turn 20 in a couple months, and I feel like I can really say that I made it through those times. I really made it through those times. Like, man, I mean, it would be nice where like right now it's 1:44 in the morning. I'll be crying right now, crying crying, bro. Just praying, like, man, like hopefully this someday you teach me this lesson, or that you place this hardship on me for a reason. Which I know you have a reason. You always have a reason, but you place this hardship on me mentally so I can figure it out, learn a lesson, so I can reap the benefits of that lesson, which I can say that I've definitely been. I understand now. I have a clear mind, when it comes to this situation. Like, I'm not up here crying. I'm in fact, if I was to cry, it would be because I made it through. I learned a lesson. I learned that something happened for a reason. It's going through. I learned the lessons for it, and I now have clear eyes to see my future and look past what happened in the past. Mind you, these things that happened, they were tragic. They were things that, you know, when you go down, you sit down with yourself, you really look back and sit back and be like, man, it kind of seemed like it was unnecessary, but it really was necessary for my growth. I really didn't have to, go through all that, this, that, and the third, go through all the hardships, and then later on, find the fourth one. His body is just found, that through the community or through my community or through people that I knew. Like I've seen the whole process through myself, like through these two eyes. I've seen me being next to somebody, playing with somebody, and then next day they're gone. Me not wanting to say something, but I knew I should have said it. I didn't, and now I never got the chance to say that ever again. That opportunity was taken away from me. Off of one person, the next person, to have something so dramatic happen to that one person, that second person, it was really hard for me because I wanted to be there, but I knew I couldn't be there. But I knew that they knew that they meant the world to me. Like, okay, he meant the world. Like as a person, person I will, I was there because of the friendship that they brought to me, and to see the way it happened and a reason for why, where was the reason that I can presume that happened. It was tragic. It was tragic to me. That one hurt me the most. I can say that one left the deepest scar. That one left the deepest wound. The third one was really more about me looking at how it affected people around me, because the first two I really couldn't see. The first one, it was like, man, he graduated, he's gone, cool. Second one, it was a long distance friend, but it was a real close friend, it was a best friend, But this one was personal. This third one, it happened in front of me. It had me in a shock. I was, I was the one that reacted that day. I remember, I can recall everything that went on that day. I recall the people and where they were inside the room when it happened. You know, and I say that to say this is like, man, I go back, I'm like, that one, I really kind of was there for everybody, but nobody was really there for me. And I had one friend, it'd be the people that, you never knew you impacted that can do the littlest thing. And, we went to school with her. She wrote me a note. I still have the note to this day. And I bless her whole heart. Like, I still have the note today. That note really meant a lot to me that day, because that day I realized that I was looking after everybody else. I never even sat down to realize, like, my teammate passed away in front of me. I was just in practice teaching him a move yesterday, and he's gone. That was something that was really hard, but I really try to be there for a lot of people, but that wasn't my role, right? That wasn't my role at the time. It took a little while to really understand that, like, I can't just be there for everybody. I gotta really be there for myself. And I think that's when I started trying to look inwards, and I didn't find anything to keep me, really going. So I had to rebuild. I can say that was like the time where I learned how to rebuild. I was starting to learn how to rebuild and try to, understand myself, or understand why I felt these type of things, because in the past I've had a lot of trauma before these callings, and that's just how it was. But I never knew how to process them. I never knew how to, like, look at them. I never, took the time out for myself. Now, I can sit here, talk all day and all night about what I've done, but I can, for now, earlier, a couple months ago in July, I've gotten to that point where it's more of the transitional phase to, continue life. Like, continue, like, you understand the process. You look back at yourself and really try to dig deep and really sit here and process your emotions, process your emotional state, your physical state, like everything. You're just going back. You just take. It's a lot of processing. Um, I feel like that was probably the best thing I could have done, and I feel like I got to that point where I was like, man, now what do I have to let go? And I'm glad I did let go. That there was I had 2 obituaries in my closet. I let them go. I said, I love y'all, but I have to, keep on my life. Like, keep moving on. Like, keep pushing. Like, I made sure, I made sure I took the time out to pray before if I let them go. I let them go. Ever since then, I've been the happiest person I've been in such a long time. It's such a long time. I smile. Like, I go outside. I could play basketball free. I don't gotta when I work out, I don't gotta use pain to fuel my workout. I can just work out and be abundant of joy and liveliness without the stress and the struggle of pain. And for that, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to just really sit back and be like, man, like I made it this far. Like it kind of choked me up when you really think about it because it took a long time. I've met with a lot of people. I've dealt with a lot of people. I've lost relationships in the process of doing this. I've gained relationships in the process of doing this. I've met people that have been through similar things to me, and I can share my knowledge with them now. It's just it's just the whole process is wonderful. And then once you just sit back with yourself and really sit back and think, like, man, you really made a change. That's just the best part about it, man. That's the best part about it. But yeah, I just want to come out and make a video about it. Hopefully the audio is good. But yeah, I appreciate y'all boys. Y'all boys have a great night. Peace.